how she just ditches out and just doesn't.
That's fine. We can bring it up.
Yeah, because it was really unbelievable.
Are we on? Oh, okay. I didn't even know. So I need to redo the. All right. Happy Friday.
Here we are. Good morning, Ben. Ben, we have a new fan favorite in the house from Wendy's, and it is the grilled fish tacos. My kids love them.
I had them during
Lent?
Yes, during Lent.
Oh my gosh.
Very good.
My kids love them. And of course those cheese curds, cheese balls, whatever you want to call them. They love those too.
Hey guys, welcome into the show. Before the show, Ben says they are good, but most of what they do at Wendy's is good. It really is. What else do we got going on here? Hey guys, welcome into the show. Before the show. And Joe, are we all set up on our platforms? Everything's operating normal?
Check real quick, but it should be.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because I had a second person that said they had problems with the Facebook feed yesterday.
What was the exact problem?
I don't they normally get an update, but they didn't, I think.
Yeah, that
happens. Yeah, that happens to me. That happens to everybody. I think that's just a tactic that they use.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just so
Here we go.
It cuts down on our viewers. Yeah.
We're not having that, Joe.
Hey, what can we do? It's Facebook, you know?
Yeah. Well, just text Vic like you did yesterday and tell him.
What was that?
About how one of the listeners couldn't get on. So you're like, well,
oh yeah,
try this or go to X or Rumble or one of the other platforms.
Okay, getting everything set up here.
Brosnan's going to be listening in on X today.
Oh, nice. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And no static issue, by the way. We're clear on that.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome into the show. Before the show, Greg says try the Wendy's coleslaw.
Actually, he put it on his cheeseburger.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll try anything, but I wouldn't go look to do that.
Yeah, I can't get down with the coleslaw. I like sometimes like when they on like fish tacos and stuff when they do like that cabbage stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never been on coleslaw.
Have you ever heard of a slaw burger? I mean, it's a southern thing. It's there was a country band that talked about a slaw burger, fries, and a bottle of ski.
Really? What's
Yeah.
ski?
Ski is like a Mountain Dew thing.
Yeah, you've
made
never heard
in
of ski?
Illinois.
No.
Yeah, it's local actually.
Like
Yes.
SKI ski?
SKI. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a Mountain Dew?
It's like Mountain Dew. They have like a red version, a regular
I
version.
wouldn't call it a knockoff, though. Would you call it a knockoff?
Not really. I mean, it's very similar. We'll just put it that way.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's a Southern thing?
Yeah.
Who makes it? Pepsi, Coke?
No,
Who?
it's actually here in Illinois.
Yeah, it's not a Southern
Yeah.
ski.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
That is
do they have diet
interesting.
ski?
I would imagine so. I don't know that much about it. However, if you go over to like Breeze, Illinois, most of their gas stations carry it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
where is Breeze, Illinois?
And it's pretty far.
Okay.
Well, it's still
It's near Carlisle.
It's still considered St. Louis metropolitan area.
Oh, really?
On the Illinois side.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, look what you do. You
Breeze
teach
Central,
me
Mater Dei Catholic High School.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, a good friend of mine's head football coach over at Mater Dei. Mater Dei is the Catholic school within Breeze, Illinois.
Oh, that's cool. How's their football team doing?
I believe it was also the home of Whitey Herzog. Remember Whitey Herzog,
Yeah.
Cardinals manager?
Yeah.
They're very good football. Guys, it is a free-for-all Friday. We got a good hour of conspiracy today from 9 to 10 as well. We'll be talking about that. Who is really behind the Trump assassination, and are the Challenger astronauts still alive? Why?
I can't wait for this one. It's going to be good.
Joe says that he knows one of them. It
What?
just sounded good. I don't know.
I was gonna say, man, what are you trying to do to me here?
Joe, we
I'm just creating stuff.
we need to let some of the secrets out.
Yeah.
Well, Jason says Belleville has ski at the Motor Mart by SWIC. Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's because
Yeah, am I the only one that doesn't know about ski?
I'm surprised. And you're the same age as I am, and you grew up in the St. Louis metropolitan area.
I know. Joe, can you find like a bottle or a can of it so I can see what it looks like?
Ski, baby. Got here today. Getting things done.
Okay, Chris, let's see. So, Boss Hog Pritzker had a conversation about being her number 2. He would be one of the worst. Just look. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
Pete,
glass
there's
bottle
no
ski
way.
better than Mountain Dew from the chat line.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
There you go.
Okay, I have never seen that. Never.
They sell it in some gas stations, even over here on the Missouri side, if you're lucky.
Well, you know what I do at gas stations? I get gas, I pump it, and then I get the heck out of there.
Yeah, I don't even go in anymore now that you can pay at the pump.
Unless it's Wally's and over there in Fenton,
Yeah.
and my kids make me go in after their games. And then I get lost in there. I'm like, oh my gosh. This
So they
place is
play Gallagher then?
unbelievable. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, Michelle.
Boom, boom, boom. Hey guys, welcome into the show before the show. It is Friday. We appreciate it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Tell at least one person that doesn't know about the show. And we're appreciative of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for any donations. Anybody that's ever given in the past. If you want to do it, you can donate on our laptop and on your laptops and your phone. We have a donate button on the menu. We're grateful for anything. Anything helps. Thank you so much. Couple more things here. Let's get this going.
Happy Friday. Connie.
It is Friday.
Remember back when you were young and you looked forward to Fridays because it meant something really big?
Yeah.
No school, you get to go out. Even when you're just in your 20s, you know, it's like, oh, it's Friday, I get to go out, you know, let off some steam. And it's like, it's Friday, get to go home, water all the flowers, do some laundry. Not today, but on a normal Friday.
Megan says she absolutely loves your look. I mean,
Thanks.
you do. No, you look gorgeous when you come in here. Your look looks great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And also too, I just wanted to say, I just want you guys to know that I am working on getting better at responding to your comments. I'm not that quick because if you haven't been able to tell, I love to gab.
Do what.
Yeah, so I love to gab, and then I get so involved in what we're talking about, and I don't want to just keep looking down.
Lizzie's amazing. Lizzie was amazing.
She is. I can't do it.
Lizzie would. Lizzie has the fastest fingers.
Oh my gosh. So, you know, I don't know. So I'm trying. So I don't want you guys to think that I don't care about what you're saying because I truly, truly do, and especially when you guys are so kind and so nice.
No, you are. Trust me. I try to. Yeah, I'm trying.
It's just a talent that, you know, some people have and some people don't.
Well, Joe thinks you should pop because the colors that you wear, they pop. Or they've been popping. It's a good pop.
Yeah, I also don't want to look like a distraction. Like I don't want people to think they're tripping either when they tune in.
No.
Thanks, Jeannie, sweetheart.
But so you had coral, and I told the story about my Derby Day coral yesterday.
Yeah.
You've had, what'd you have yesterday?
Hot pink.
So you went from coral to hot pink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what would you call?
This is like a kindergartner's finger paint.
That's like laughing in the 70s right there.
It is.
60s,
it's like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Who were that? It wasn't Velma. What was her?
Better
Velma.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? The cute one.
Yeah. Fred and
Daphne?
Daphne. That's
Daphne.
Right.
It's a Daphne dress.
Angie.
Yeah.
Who's Angie?
All right, brother. We can go ahead and kickstart the show. Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. It is Friday. It's a free-for-all Friday. I'm Vic Faust with Megan Marie Moret and Projo in the house as well. Glad you guys are with us today. It's July 26th. Let's get the things going. It's a conspiracy theory, speculatory Friday. I mean, we're really going to hit it hard at 9 o'clock, but you can start with it. I'm going to start with it with a couple things at 8 o'clock. But at 9 o'clock, we have our friend from the Lake of the Ozarks, Grayson Wood, back with us. 2 weeks ago, he said at the end of the show, he brought up Challenger. And I went, oh, no. I've done the deep dive on the Challenger astronauts on TikTok several times. looking at all the pictures going, my God, it looks like they're still alive. Is this AI generated? Is this real? I have no idea. All right. So with that being said, Grayson's going to talk about why he says the Challenger astronauts are still alive. I repeat why the Challenger astronauts are still alive. You guys can jump into that conversation. He's also been doing more of a deep dive because when I called him to check to make sure he was going to be here, he said since Trump's assassination attempt, he said that's more present, obviously, probably more important as we have seen. Why is Josh Hawley having to create a law of transparency to get information in the government? Josh Hawley, that's right, the senator from Missouri, U.S. senator, has had to put together legislation to get transparency because they can't get all the information. Grayson's going to jump into that, the conspiracy theory behind that as well. That's coming up at 9 o'clock. Also, it's official. We think Barack Obama, hey, everybody, Barack Obama, endorsing Kamala Harris on a phone call so everybody can see, all staged. Joe Biden's still the president, but still not allowed to do anything. The only thing they allow him to do is eat his ice cream. The government also admitting that Iran is sponsoring all of this bullshit that we see when it comes to these protesters all over our streets, tearing apart our nation's capital. That's right. Oh, yeah, Iran's doing it, but we're still going to give Iran money and take care of them. You think they would allow us to go to Iran and start doing stuff? Hell freaking no. The story I didn't get to yesterday, but I wanted to, Southwest Airlines. You probably have already seen what Southwest is doing, right? It doesn't mean anything to me.
No, it doesn't really mean anything to me either, but I don't understand what their explanation for it is either, that they're feeling like it's going to bring them more money.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
And Netflix, are they going to be the next Bud Light or not when it comes to canceling themselves? I don't know. Maybe not. I can tell you this. I'm not watching Netflix. I'm just not. As many good shows and things that have come out on Netflix, I will not be watching Netflix because they've gotten very, very, very political.
They have.
Anyway, with Southwest, this is cancelthisshow.com. Todd says 46% loss in profits second quarter.
Wow.
They're falling and they're fading. The airline industry is a disaster. I told you all the issues I had going on my quick vacay to Myrtle Beach last week. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. He was stuck in St. Louis's airport, just trying to get to Michigan, had 3 flights canceled. They're still trying to rebook him. He finally just gave up on the trip and he's not going to go see his family in Michigan.
Yeah, that's
St. Louis.
Unbelievable. They need to get it together.
So maybe I don't know if it's the data breaches, what's going on. We talked about it. I don't know if that had an issue with Southwest, but yeah, Southwest, they got rid of their seats. They're going to have assigned seats now.
Yeah, which
they said they need to let people pay for legroom.
Yeah, well, and they're saying that it's because the customers were demanding this. The customers are the ones who said that they wanted it, and I honestly think it's kind of nice to just get in your line, get on, and find your seat. So I'm not sure who they're getting their feedback from, or if that's just another excuse to try and just kind of get some kind of control. I'm not sure. So, hi.
Well, you can now pay.
How's it going?
You can now pay for more legroom.
Yeah. Eric, would you do that?
What's that?
He's getting set up.
So,
I would.
You get on Southwest.
Yeah.
Would you pay extra for more legroom?
Well,
just to make sure that you had an assigned seat.
Let me think about that for a second. So you're destroying what the brand of Southwest Airlines is.
And I'm going to interrupt you really quick. People, if you don't know yet, Eric is a marketing whiz. He is a marketing genius.
That's not good news.
I would love to get in his brain just once. Seriously, it's like you go on one of those LSD trips.
Well,
if you go into your brain,
what is it? 50 years of being able to walk up to lines A, B, or C. Okay. You've just thrown that out. You've just thrown that out the window.
1 through 30, 31 through 60.
Yeah. And there's only 4 people that can get the exit rows. So you know what I mean? That's so the thing.
True.
So do I want it? You know what? Let's see how the prices go up on Southwest Airlines. Let's do that. If it's another $200 to fly from St. Louis to San Antonio, then no. I would rather just go back to the school bus in the air.
Why is Southwest losing so much money? They're losing so much damn money. Why? Every time you go to the airport, they're packed flights.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. The whole thing just kind of sounds fishy to me.
I think what I heard is that they had some AI consultants that said, how can you make,
serious?
I swear to God, how can you make more money? How can you make the traveling customer feel better about themselves. And they all said, well, you have to have a seat designation was the first one. Here's one thing I'll say about Southwest Airlines. Do you guys feel a little bit like you got to rush to the line quickly, and then just so that you can get an overhead bin, and just so that you can get a seat near the window or at the aisle? That is an hour of stress that I hate.
Yeah,
going on Southwest Airlines.
It is.
I might be in the middle seat. Just that alone.
It is the thought. I've had that thought, but you probably don't. You fly first class Delta all the time.
No, I do not. I fly Southwest. Not true.
Yeah,
I do. I fly Southwest a lot. But, I always have the same number. I always have the same letter, the same number every time I fly. And, it just depends on where I go. Sometimes I have carry-on, sometimes I don't.
Well,
but I always get stuck in the middle because I'm always the smallest of whoever I travel with.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
I'm the middle gal. I'm the middle sister. I'm the middle. I just get thrown in the middle.
But here's the deal. Even since I've been alive, flying is changed. There used to be an unspoken rule: no Birkenstocks on an airplane.
Oh my God, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Right?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
If you're like me who doesn't like to dress up at all, you at least put on a polo to get on a plane with nice jeans.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And even before
even
before I was alive, you used to wear a suit to get on airlines.
No.
Come on, man. Now
I know we don't need
going
to do
way
that
back.
anymore.
No, maybe not that much, but
it's still okay. That's why the airlines are like, screw them. Just put them make the seats 6 inches apart from each other. It's a flying cattle call. That's all it is. I think it's time to go back to the days of you need to take a shower before you get on a plane. You don't want to look like you're going to Walmart. And I think we need to bring class back to the airlines. I do, personally.
Well, the class, but I feel the same way about church.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way about church.
About church. I
mean, it's the same thing. People show up in their fuzzy slippers.
Man,
their hair's a mess.
I hate it. Yes.
I mean, their pajamas.
It's about being reverence. Your reverence. I know. I've worn shorts on Saturday night a couple times, and I felt a little.
Oh, but
I felt a little ashamed.
It's horrible.
Nice golf shorts.
You can't go to a Catholic church in shorts.
I did on a Saturday night because it was hot. Yeah. I felt shame.
That Jesus is not gonna like that.
I know.
Yeah,
my heart was in the right spot.
No, but
you gotta be comfortable when you fly.
Yeah, but so talking about how much airlines have changed. The first time I flew to France, it was Air France.
Yeah,
and you could smoke. And the French love to smoke.
Holy shit!
I remember those days. I remember those days.
Got off of that plane, and I smelled for days.
And you don't smoke, right?
No. And I mean, literally, you're sitting there and you're surrounded, and everyone's smoking. And
but how long
this was when they had the ashtrays.
Ashtrays on the armrest.
Yes, they sure did.
Right, they did.
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I remember one time I got up, I was like, I have to get out of here. I'm going to go back and just stand by, get a little walking in and go stand by the the attendants. They're back there smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, obviously now that has changed, but man, how things have changed.
Now you'd be smoking the weed on the plane.
Yeah. Well, but here's the deal. And then we can move on to something more fun.
It's a free for all Friday.
I understand.
This is fun.
But I went to the movies the other night to see Twister.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I heard that was good.
Everybody shows up in pajamas now.
Yeah.
With a blanket.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen kids do that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen adults.
Everybody showed up. They had sand or floppy flippers on. Mm-hmm. They had fuzzy. They all brought their blankets.
Yeah.
And now they're all like, as soon as the movie's over, just slide me into bed because I'm ready to go to bed.
Did you bring your whoopee?
I didn't bring anything.
No. Next time you will.
What'd you call it?
Whoopee.
A whoopee?
Yeah.
A blanket?
Whoopee? Yeah.
Is that a blanket?
No, I didn't have a whoopee since I was like 2 years ago. I got rid of it. So anyway,
you moved on. Your girlfriend said it's time.
And I feel like society has just moved past me. Does anybody else feel like that?
What?
Do you feel like society has just gone, I don't give a damn what you think?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Really?
But from the chat line, and by the way, it's a free for all Friday. We get very serious about politics throughout the week. And we kind of cut loose on Fridays. We'll do some of those things, but my God, it's a Friday. We're having some fun getting into the week. The conspiracy theory, Eric, part 2 with Grayson Wood, why the Challenger astronauts are still alive. I repeat, why the Challenger astronauts are still alive.
Come on, man.
And
we're going to get to the bottom of this.
And-
I understand.
and who's behind the Trump assassination and what's going on with that stuff. We're going to get to
Good
that in the 9
question.
o'clock hour. Todd says his kids, what they do, they wear pajamas to class now.
It's unbelievable.
You can't do that in private, but I guess you could do it in public.
Did you guys see what Greg said? He said, I had a lady, he was on a flight to Florida and she did her nails right next to him. He said the clippings were flying everywhere.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
It's horrible.
That is so gross.
Mm.
I can't even imagine.
You know-
Greg, did you tell her like, could you wait a little bit to do this? Or, I mean, that's unbelievable.
You know, it's okay, Eric.
Yeah.
Has Christy ever grabbed your hand and trimmed your nails for you? And
Hell no. Oh, she's a nailophobe. Trust me. She would never do that.
Megan will grab my hand and she does my nails.
No.
Yeah, that's
Well, okay.
Not the feet.
I could totally
Mhm.
see that though.
But I was like, oh my God, why?
I can't
really?
have a man that doesn't have a pedicure or manicure. I don't know what the difference is.
Well,
but
no, this is. a
but
manicure.
she's that kind of person. She's like, if you're gonna be hanging out with me, you're gonna have some style, son.
Yeah. Well,
I can stand
guys
too much
do.
cuticles.
You do. Guys
Mm-hmm.
and girls, you have to take care of your fingernails and your toes. You just do. They're exposed.
But on a plane,
we don't want to see what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner underneath your nails.
Yeah, no, I
At
felt
the end
fair.
of the day.
Totally
I felt
fair.
guilty. It's
That's
like,
fair.
You know.
like
That's
I'm trying
fair.
to collect all my clippings too, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want those to go anywhere.
Well, where are
Yeah.
you doing
So
this?
on a plane, anywhere, we
Anywhere?
standing at a counter.
that's
in the
fair. That's
Kitchen.
fair.
No.
It's fair.
Yeah.
What's
a
important to
plane?
guys? Okay.
On a
What-
plane though.
No.
What's important to
Ugh.
guys about a guy? If my girl has to be like this, girls are the same with us, and they have their issues. And if you have, like you said, all the work that you did during the week under your fingernails, they're looking at that, going, "That's my man," but we got to fix some things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
No,
I can totally
no
see
free
that.
edge, men.
Fingernail
no free edge.
clippings on
Especially if you're going to be going to
Yes.
Napoli as much as you do.
I
You
can't
got
even tell you
Yeah.
the last time I've been
Well-
to Napoli. I haven't.
okay.
All right.
Where is the new spot?
I don't even know. I'm too old.
Wenty's?
I'm out of it. I'm out.
Wow.
Of it. Wenty's isn't
He
a Napoli
retired.
type of place.
I know,
It's a
but I mean,
neighborhood
but it's a
place.
good hangout.
I
The
retired
thing
a
I
long
love
time
about
ago.
there is you can go in on any given day and
Yeah.
there'll be men in suits, men in golf
Yeah.
gear, kids in baseball. I mean, gals in their tennis skirts.
Yeah.
Everybody's in there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and you just kick back
It's
and
fair.
relax.
That's fair too.
Yeah.
It's bougie as hell, but there's a place for bouge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not in my house anyway.
Okay, this is cancelthisshow.com. That's Eric Johnson, Pro Joe, our producer. As you hear him sometimes, you don't see him right now. Megan, Marie Moret, Vic Faust. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Like, subscribe, share the show. The final thing I said, Southwest, it doesn't mean anything to me.
It doesn't.
But most of the airlines are losing money for whatever reason. That's what we start to see. They're losing, unless you're flying, Air France. Oh, you know, Dr. Eric Naputi, who does a show now, Peptides, that's getting ready to start, or Pep Talk, about his peptides, his nutraceutical company. By the way, he is kicking total ass. After beating the government in a lawsuit over the whole COVID situation, he has now started a whole new podcast that he's shooting here at Renew Media Group. So I was talking to Eric 2 days ago. He's got investors in Saudi Arabia. And I'm like, how are you flying back and forth all the time?
Yeah.
He said the best airline he has ever flown is Emirates.
Yeah. Oh,
Emirates.
gosh.
Yeah, they don't fly out of Lambert.
But
Take
that is
Emirates from
so
here to
true.
Dallas.
And those gals on United Emirates,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, they are dressed to the nines.
Like
I
old
mean,
school, like Eric was
oh,
talking about.
Yes.
Like tailored and little
Yeah.
hats.
heels and yes, they
Yeah,
are so
if
proper.
Southwest Airlines was a ground transportation, it would be Greyhound. Emirates, Emirates is the bullet train out of France. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a different experience
Totally.
altogether. So
It is.
I do think Make America Great Again. We do need to have a discussion about our transportation systems because I'm tired.
We don't have enough money. We'd have
Yeah.
to start, but it would
Call-
take a generation to change our transportation.
because
system.
internationally we are the jokes
we
of
are
the world.
If you go around the world, you'll see that. I
Yeah.
haven't been, but I've heard that.
yeah.
Well,
You've
Pete,
traveled a lot.
Pete Booty Juice is we need to replace him. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the only reason for how horrible things are, but he's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully his time's coming to an end. That's for sure.
Right.
Have you guys talked about
Yeah.
Kama at all this week?
No,
Like
we were
every
waiting
day.
for you.
Here's the thing. Can we talk about
like every day?
that idiot for just a second? Here's the deal.
Eric, real
She's
quick.
down in the polls. I know that you
We
guys
can't even fix potholes in St. Louis from the chat line, Eric. So.
I brought that up, what, 4 years ago? Here's the deal, guys. This is Trump's winning.
Yeah.
Trump's playing golf.
Yeah.
Kamala got into the race, just got the head nod from the Obamas this morning or yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
You need to look at Kamala. She's booby trapped. She's booby trapped. She's beatable. She's an idiot. We all know it. They're gaslighting us. She has said things that she is the border czar. The big machine is saying she's not the border czar. That's volley number one. Trump needs to be real careful because as soon as he goes after her hard, she blows up. Like that, the prank when you open the purse up and the thing blows up in your face.
Yeah.
You need to treat this chick with kid gloves because as soon as he goes after her, the soccer moms of the United States are going to turn on Trump. But right now they got him.
Okay, so what do you mean when you say
because
in which way go after her?
Because she looks good, she smiles, she has she has the Hollywood classes at fawning all over her. The people of the United States, they are sick of the border. They're sick of the inflation. They're sick of schools. They're sick of defund the police. They're sick of taxes. I could go on and on. But they're also they're creatures of emotion. And as soon as they see an 80-year-old dude call her nitwit Kamala or whatever he would do, the Kamala bubble blows up in their face. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. So basically, to go after her on policy, but don't take like
you cannot go after
juvenile jabs.
Yeah, you can't do Hillary Clinton is over. You can't do that with Hillary.
Yeah.
Okay. Kamala is this like she's like a fembot. She's a fembot. She's cute, but she has machine guns in her nipples.
I don't find her cute either.
No,
and Logan, I saw this too. Logan said that she said North Korea was an ally of ours at the DMZ. She literally said this.
Well, she's no smarter than Joe. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. We know she's a nitwit, but she is also 20 years younger. She has the Democratic machine behind her, right?
Right.
She says things in a teleprompter that sound good, but get her off camera, and she sounds stupid like when she was with Lester Holt.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, Trump has a unique way of alienating soccer moms. Right?
Yeah. I would agree with that part.
Right?
What I'm curious.
She's booby trapped.
Why do you call her booby trapped though? To me, that sounds negative.
Because if she was,
it sounds like Republicans are booby trapped.
No. Well, she's
booby trapping Trump.
She's a glass of nitroglycerin. You need to handle it very carefully.
Now I get you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to handle it very carefully. Take it to where it belongs, the dumpster.
Well,
but don't shake it up too much.
Well, here's Obama. This whole thing was staged. We had it yesterday. The Obama.
Oh, definitely.
This whole call was staged. It's like, oh, are you kidding me? Oh, we have to watch this again. Oh, they finally did it. Oh, the Obamas. And they all set it up. Here it is.
Dude, it is going to be a bulldozer of Democratic machine.
Here it is.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you.
Yeah.
This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh my goodness. Michelle, Brock, this means so much to me. I'm looking forward to doing this with the two of you.
Turn it off. I can't take it. I cannot take it. We
out
get
there,
it.
being on the road.
We get it.
But most of all, I just want to tell you
they're proud of
the
her.
words you have spoken and the friendship that
Does
you
anybody got a
have given over all
chalkboard
these
that I can
years
put my nails
mean
on
more
real
than I can
fast?
express.
Can I eat some asparagus in front of you?
And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Kamala.
She's just casually walking down the
Kamala,
sidewalk
it's Brock.
while she takes this call, just casually out in front of her car.
This is horrible. That's a horrible way of launching the Obamas. They were getting ready to go play pickleball in their backyard, and they're like,
I want to know why this was all done over the phone. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, even his proof of life. Remember when everybody was wanting to know if Joe Biden was still alive, and he shows up on the phone with Kamala. Why is she always on the phone? Is AI behind this?
She's a busy woman. She's got lots to do. She's probably talking about the border. She's probably securing the border. She's probably calling Border Patrol to make sure that we don't let any more illegal aliens in.
I'm saying they're using the phone quite a bit in their releasing things lately.
It sucks because the liars, the threat to democracy is the Democrats. It's the truth. It is. These guys circumvented a primary. They went to Joe Biden's house probably with very sharp knives, probably a loaded pistol, probably documents about Hunter Biden to hang over his head, and said, "Mr. President, you're out." And he went, "I'm not out of anything." And he goes, "Well, let me show you why you're out." And they probably lined up an entire PowerPoint presentation of what they're going to launch against him. It was a hostage situation the other night when he bowed out. 4 days of not seeing the guy. What a joke.
Yeah.
What a damn joke.
Well, Joe Biden, now look at him yesterday. The alleged real Joe Biden. I mean, when he was just sitting there doing nothing, we got another double version of him because
here's what's interesting though about what you just said. So a lot of people were thinking that it was a possibility that they came to him and they're like, "Hey, we're going to invoke the 25th on you, or you can, step down, on your own, well, quote unquote terms."
Yeah.
But it would take one member of Congress, right, and the vice president to invoke the 25th. Well, it sure didn't sound like when he was calling in, and it could have been a pre-recorded call, I don't know, but when he called, when Kamala was first announcing that she was going to be, the next candidate, it sounded like they were buddy. So it makes me question, did they come at him and say
they
that
did.
somebody...
That's what I'm saying, because Obama, originally there was rumors that he wasn't endorsing Cammie, and then all of a sudden they come out. That's why I'm saying, is this not AI that they're trying to
they had no choice.
They've already gone public.
They had no choice. They couldn't have skipped over Kamala to go to Gavin.
No, they couldn't have. You're right about that.
It was...
But here's the interesting thing too, is why in the world was his entire family, Joe Biden's entire family, sitting off to the side while he did that?
It looked like a hostage situation.
It sure did. It really did. Like you say this, or heads are gonna roll.
It did.
Yeah.
We gotta find that video because they look like
the only thing I kept that we were missing were the guys that looked like ISIS behind him with guns. That's the only thing we were really missing in all of that.
I mean, it is.
If you want to make it out of the cave, you will say this.
Yes, and they were all sitting there like this, like they looked like they were, like they had a gun over their heads, and they were.
It's the truth.
There was no emotion.
Yeah.
They were all sitting there. I mean, can you imagine Trump showing up to give an address and having Melania, Eric, Don, Barron, and all their wives sitting there?
It would never happen.
That was squirrely. Something's up with that.
For months, Biden is going, "I'm running." His whole team's, "I'm running. You're not getting me out of the race. I'm running. I am running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running." And then all of a sudden, boom, Mr. President, you have COVID. I do.
Yeah.
We have to have a talk when you get back to the beach.
Yeah.
And that's when all of the powers to be came together. The only thing that I would really like to know is, being that fly on the wall, how they told him, "You're out." It doesn't have, you have nothing to say about it. You're out. We don't know how we're going to do it yet. I mean, we might just push you down the stairs and then you'll really be out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if they're taking shots at Trump, they'll take shots at anybody to keep their socialist ways, their new world order ways going. They have an agenda that we don't know about.
Absolutely.
And they can't come out and tell us what that agenda is. That's why the Republicans are so cool to me. They don't hide anything. It's like lower taxes, okay, secure border. Yeah.
Right.
There's no agenda underneath any of that stuff. Why do you want to secure the border? Because we kind of want to know who's coming in here.
Right.
And then the story's over.
Sense.
It's like, period.
Yeah,
With the Democrats, there's always it's like, well, we're trying to close the border as much as no, you're not. You're an open border society.
Yep.
Well, no, we're doing no, you're not. Then why aren't you closing the borders? Well, we're in Central America. The story just always is elongated on everything they talk about. Well, we're not defund the police. Yeah, you are. Crime is running rampant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
They talk themselves into a corner, and nothing is ever black or white. It's always gray with the Democrats.
Every issue
There's
they
always
have,
gray area.
Yeah, every issue you have with a Democrat, you better have 2 hours set aside to debate what they're talking about. With the Republican, it's like this. Inflation was caused by putting trillions of dollars into the economy.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then you have an economist come on and prove it. And then with them, they think that they don't even know why there's the inflation. They have no idea why. Do you ever notice that?
Well, but okay. Right now, though, currently the Democrats are trying to say that it was not Biden. It had nothing to do with him.
Of course they're going to say
that.
that.
Inflation went up to 9%.
It
was all COVID.
Show Biden when you get a chance.
Yeah, but the thing is that people need to remember, and you can look back. I mean, it is on paper, but they'll continue to lie. It's 16 months into Biden's administration. That's when it hit the high of 9. So you're going to tell me that, he keeps trying to say that he came in and it was already established that inflation was already on the rise because of Trump's administration. Yeah. No, it was 16 months after he was in. It wasn't month 1, 2, or 3. 16.
I'm scared because he's still the president. He says he's going to be the president. And yesterday, that's the video. He was literally sitting here yesterday.
Yeah.
Not answering questions. Look, he looks scared again.
Well, so is Kamala. Here's
you got it.
I can't wait for the days of a president. They go and do their teleprompter spiel, whatever it is, and go, no, I'm here to take a few questions. When I say a few, I only mean 10. So go ahead.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Look at Biden.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for being here.
Talk about
Okay, now watch him. There's one point in this clip where he smiles. It's so creepy, and he doesn't stop smiling. And Netanyahu keeps looking over at him, and he's like, "Why is he smiling?"
All right. Well, you can't blame them for trying.
Must have been earlier.
I'm convinced, and I've said this before, that they do this on purpose. If you have tons of reporters yelling, screaming, and the reporters know,
you know,
they're not.
Yeah.
But if they're yell and scream or get people to continue to yell and scream, he's not going to have to talk. He will not have to talk.
Those are interns. They're called they're called the yellers.
It is done on purpose.
Yeah.
So that nobody gets a question.
Yeah.
And then after like 30 seconds or so,
it's disrespectful. It's rude to the media.
Yes.
It is.
It's rude to the media.
I'm telling you, I've been in those settings for a long time. I've interviewed a president. It's done on purpose. So he doesn't have to talk.
Yeah.
I don't trust anything with anybody anymore at the government.
Well, no, but how are they going to keep him quiet for the next 6 months if they really plan on keeping him as our sitting president?
They've done it for 3 years.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. And is anyone
almost 4?
Yeah. So sick and tired of everyone saying that they lied, that they it's the right also that keeps saying that everybody's so sick and tired of how the right or the left was trying to cover this up. They were trying to hide his demise. They were trying to hide how truly ill he was. But like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, nobody hid anything from me. Like, it wasn't like they were hiding. They were lying. They weren't hiding it.
Yeah.
They were just
lying. Well, it's like there's a group
of
of people. You remember that song, It Wasn't Me? Remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're playing with us right now. Every single day you watch a conservative outlet, you're opening the door and going, oh my God, you're having sex with my best friend. It wasn't me. The Democrats are, I didn't even know what the word gaslight meant before I met this group of Democrats. They can tell you it wasn't us that did that. No. Well, here's all the data. Here's all the proof. Here, respond to that. It wasn't me. That's all I keep hearing from them.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to acknowledge what they've done.
No, and then then they turn it on you and they go, why would you think that? Are you okay? Like, is there something more going on with you?
Yeah.
That like, why would you ever say that? You know, and then
You're such a
that's the whole
conspiracy
gaslighting.
theorist.
Right. Yeah, they're professionals.
Yeah,
you're right.
and I understand why Democrats don't like Republicans. I get it. It's like they want this socialist agenda to come in. They want, I get it. But you can't, as a Democrat, you can't come out and say, we're so excited to tell you about our plan. Let me tell you about our plan. We're going to raise the hell out of taxes.
Right.
Your taxes are going to go through the roof. And then you're like, whoa. Yeah, we're so excited. We're going to bring in 25 million illegals from across the border into your community.
100%.
We're so excited. And they're like, whoa, you cannot tell the story about what they want to do.
They don't know.
You know what I mean?
But it's all a sham. Look at the Joe Biden that showed up yesterday. Check this out, Eric. Is this the real Biden? Because you're not into conspiracy theories.
No, I'm trying to break them.
Well, look at this Joe Biden. Look at the Joe Biden that came out for an appearance. Joe Biden is not 6'5". Joe Biden is 6 foot tall. Look at this Joe Biden on the left side and tell me that's him.
Oh no, I can't go down this road. He's wearing platform shoes.
Eric.
He's going to a 70s disco night.
No, he doesn't have to be Ron DeSantis. He's not 5'5". He's 6 foot. That's it. 6 foot. Eric, he is shorter than you.
What was his purpose? What's he doing?
It was an appearance that he had. But that is not.
Like he's on stilts.
I'm telling you, and it's not just the camera angle. Bendy, I know what you're saying, but that is not a 6 foot man. No way.
He's walking. I don't know. He looks like he's shuffling.
He looks like Slender Man.
He's got the Biden shuffle.
He does.
Yes.
He does. Keep it.
Joe, what do you think?
He's definitely tall in that in this video. And Bill's standing literally like a foot or two behind him, so she's not that far away. But there's definitely.
Anyway, my whole point on the fact is we showed videos yesterday and pictures of what looked like multiple Joe Bidens.
Yeah.
Today we show you a Biden that's 6'5", 6'6", maybe 7 foot. He looks like Kevin Garnett.
Yeah. But so let's just pretend.
So I don't trust anything with the government. It's all planned.
Let's pretend in this room that there's 3 Joe Bidens. There's a manly Joe Biden, there's a wise Joe Biden, and then there's the dementia-ridden Joe Biden who's sitting in Delmar Gardens right now. Let's just pretend. It doesn't matter. The machine is running this cat.
You got it.
You do not do anything, Joe, without your little card. Here's your card. Don't deviate. You don't do anything without your teleprompter. Because we saw what happens when you don't have a teleprompter. You get kicked out of a presidential race because you just debated the president.
He can't even see that anymore.
Well, and he can't even keep it straight when he does have a teleprompter. I mean, he
screwed up last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he screw up?
He screws up. He screwed up in the Oval Office the other night.
Yeah, the Oval Office.
I think I agree with you guys. I thought that they would remove him for Kamala. I bet they keep him around as long as he has a heartbeat, or they've got enough to keep him around. More can get done from a bad
They're
standpoint.
juggling a lot right now. So
I know.
It'll be interesting to see how
I feel like it's I feel like it's the St. Louis Rams, the era with Kurt Warner, and the whole Rams team is just sitting on the other side of the sidelines like this. And you're trying to put on the Jacksonville Jaguars to take you on without a quarterback. And the whole Rams team is just like this.
Yep.
What in the hell?
I like that analogy.
Don't you feel like that, Vic? And they're trying to psych up the crowd because you have Trent Dilfer as your quarterback or whoever, Neil Lomax. And you have Kurt Warner and you have Marshall Faulk on the other sideline going, we're just going to beat the crap out of these dudes, but they got to shut up.
Well, they got the machine.
They just got to shut up.
They've got the media that's now lying about Kamala. They've got everything. They've got their national actors and everybody who's now jumped. Oh my God, we've gone from the worst vice president in the history of this country to she's our savior. She's our Messiah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
You know, and like you were saying earlier, there's this, the soccer moms or everybody's
Gotta
going to
be
think that she's cute and she's,
Yes.
and she's funny and she's kind of lighthearted and all of these other things. But no one thought that about her, the last 3.5 years.
No,
everybody thought she was a joke.
Here's who's going to win it for her. It's not going to be the Obamas. They'll help. They'll be kind of a nudge. Here's who's going to win it for her.
Netflix.
Watch this. Yes.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson, Drew Barrymore, maybe Oprah Winfrey.
Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
That psychotic
Mamala.
fool?
Remember Mamala?
Oh my God, she got on her knees.
Oh my God.
Remember Mamala?
And paid homage.
The View.
The View's done.
Well,
they got canceled.
There's not yet.
Yeah.
Those are the people that
Joy
are going to
Reid.
go into Chesterfield Valley, that are going to go into Federal Way. I'm sorry, I take that back. I almost said Federal Way, Seattle. They're already in the tank. They're going to go into Overland Park, Kansas. And those ladies, the soccer moms, the ones that drink the wine in the backyard and they talk about issues, those are the ladies that are going to go, did you see Mamala on Oprah today? Mm-hmm. Oh, she was fantastic. Oh, I could totally see her being part of our wine club. Yes, I need to vote for her.
Well, that's what they're going to say, but I still think we're going to have irregularities with the voting, Eric. And I'm sorry, I'm getting into some of the hype after I listened to some tech guys talk about how, yes, elections can be rigged from a technical standpoint, and that is an issue. It's a big issue.
Yeah,
and they're already setting it up for us.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take the worst vice president in the history of our country and then all of a sudden pop her up and she wins just like that. It's not. And you look at the rallies for Trump, you look at the support for Trump, he was freaking shot. Are you kidding? There's no way in hell anybody could beat him. No way legally.
Well, I didn't think though that in our last election, I truly did not think that Biden was going to beat Trump. I truly didn't. I in my eyes, I was like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
The guy never came out, never spoke to anyone in his basement.
Yeah.
Trump was having rally after rally. His campaign was lights out, and look what happened.
Well, I don't understand what the big deal is about people saying election is rigged. And here's why I say it. My credit card got hacked because someone put a skimmer in some stupid ATM.
Yeah.
Well, my credit card's not supposed to be hacked.
Right.
And that's a digital thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is that not possible? Why are you the only people that have an election dead on are the Iraqis when they put their thumb in the ink and they go, you can't vote no more because you put your thumb in the ink, as they're going down the street with snipers who are aimed at them.
Right.
That was one of the most sincere elections I've ever seen in my life. Would you not agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You put your thumb in the ink, you put your ballot there, we're going to count the ballots, whoever has the most wins. That doesn't seem very logical when you're putting ballot boxes in the middle of cities. It doesn't seem logical when you're letting people vote 3 months before an election. It doesn't seem logical when you hear stories, if they're true or not, doesn't matter, of technology that has the ability to be influenced by outside forces. And I'm talking about the domain. I'm sorry, the software group that put the
Dominion.
Yeah,
Dominion. At least you have this thing in the back of your head as an American going, was this rigged? That's where the problem is to me. If you have a question, was this rigged? I don't know. Bill Maher tells me it wasn't, so it must be fair. You see what I'm saying? There are people out there. I'm not one of them. I try to live my life like a little less stressed these days, but there are people out there that go, this was not fair.
No, well,
you got to address those people.
Well, in the point is that we watched it. We watched all of the fraud go on. We watched the late night ballots, the lights mysteriously go out in the ballot stations, the flooding that occurs, the thousands and thousands of ballots found in dumpsters.
Yes.
With, people doing the late night drops, the mail-in ballot, the pandemic that, made everyone feel like they could not leave their home or they were going to die. Send in. I personally know 2 women that sent their dead husbands vote in.
Oh, yeah, you did talk about that.
So, so that's just me. Can you imagine how many other people either have done it or know people that did it?
It's funny you say that because I asked somebody who was, and I think it was on the other show when Lil Tab was around, and I said something, I go, why are all the secretaries of state then saying everything was fine, no election interference here. And she said it was because they were looking at the data of, well, here's the data right here in front of me. They weren't looking at the fact that there were bags that were misplaced of how fraudulent ballots might have gotten counted. They weren't looking at other issues. They were just looking at like, well, the data looks the same as every other year, so this must be a good election. And they weren't able to, whatever they did, they might have hit it well. Right. Well, you have one side covering it up, the other side calling it real. That's where you get this word conspiracy theory.
Right.
And you don't ever have the ability, one side doesn't have the ability to challenge what could be fraudulent stuff. And that's where I think that's why we have a divide in this country that's just, it can't be fixed.
Right. And you can't forget also that Hillary Clinton did the exact same thing. So Hillary Clinton did not do anything different than Trump did after the last election. She did the exact same thing. She called them illegitimate. She said it was the election was stolen. It wasn't real. Russia, all of these things, and nothing happened with her. They just, another thing that she said and did and swept it right under the rug.
Yeah.
And he just came out and was questioning legit things.
I wanted to bring this up since we were talking about voting. Kamala Harris from 2019, she tweeted this. This should be brought back up to her. She said, quote, paper ballots are the smartest, safest way to ensure that your vote,
no doubt,
is secure against attacks by foreign actors.
Yeah.
Russia can't hack a piece of paper like they can a computer. We introduced the Secure Elections Act to ensure our elections are safeguarded. We must be ready. That was March 31st, 2019 from Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can fix all of these problems real simple. You have an election holiday.
That's what I've said.
If you're going to be out of the country, prove it. You can do a vote by mail. That's number one. If you're in the military, it is proved you can vote by mail. But we have an election holiday. It comes in on a Monday. I think Monday works. It's when we do all the bowl games. Might as well do a Monday election holiday. You come in on Monday. You get up. You bring your card. You have a Social Security card. We send you a voter card. It's laminated. You put it in your pocket. If we can't find it, then we'll research it at the ballot place. But everybody, doesn't matter if you can't get there. We have what are called voting buses. We can invest in voting buses in the inner city or in underprivileged communities. Voting buses. Get on the voting bus. Bring your card. We're gonna have a good time. Here's some coffee. Here's some water. Stand in line. Vote. Do your duty. I think that's the way you fix a lot of these problems. You have two people that are always witnessing, a Republican and a Democrat. If there's any challenges, you rectify them right there. That night, you know what the election results are.
Yeah.
That night.
That you're just talking sensibly, though.
It's not even sensibly. It just fixes the. You ever remember that in Office Space when Milton was fired? He goes, "Well, Milton was fired a long time ago. We just fixed the glitch." That's all we got to do is fix the glitch. There's a glitch. You put way too much insecurity into the voting system during COVID.
There's way too many glitches. I mean, look at Arizona. Finally, Joe, I promise. Do you want to say what you're going to say first?
Well, I was just going to say, instead of investing in buses, we could just make public transportation free on election day.
Yeah, that
would go over good with all the Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Well,
but
that's not
public
necessarily
transportation.
Public transportation.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's not even that expensive. I mean, throw $1 billion into the National Election Holiday Fund.
Right. Well, but see, we don't.
I even use my
enough
announcer voice.
Public transportation for all of our newcomers, our dreamers that are here, that they want to be allowed to vote. And why is every state not following what Arizona just did? Arizona finally just passed that you have to be a citizen to vote there. You have to be a citizen. No. I mean, that
you want common sense, are you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why isn't everybody doing that? How can you
Because here's the deal. The Democrats don't really care about 15 million people and their welfare coming over the border.
They don't.
Me and Vic were talking about this 5 years ago. No. What is going on with the border? What are they doing? What are they trying to accomplish? And we were trying to put the mosaic together. It's together.
Did it work?
The blanket has been sewn. We're looking at what they put together. They're trying to blue communities, especially up in Washington State and in New York, we want to make voting open to illegal citizens because you live in our community.
Yeah, but they haven't earned the right to vote. I'm sorry.
Not according to
None of
you,
them.
but according to liberal mayors and liberal governors, it's just a matter of time. It's like you live here, you pay taxes somehow, sales tax, whatever it is, you have the right to vote. That is their game plan. And that is a 20-year game plan. So they're bringing in the 20 million people who will populate the United States. They will vote Democrat, according to them. And their rule of tyranny will be, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Their rule will just continue, it's and socialism tyranny will abound.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. And the left, I don't know if they never think about this, but I think about it all the time. So they want to welcome, and in Kamala, you're going to start seeing more of her saying in the past, the clips, that she wants to let anyone here, like I said earlier this week, anyone that's looking for a safe place or an education, we are going to provide that. We as America, we are going to be open arms. So anyone that comes here, she is not going to turn away. Well, it's just not possible. I mean, we financially not possible. We don't have enough room to keep all these people here. But if you're going to say that it's okay to come here and we're going to provide a safe place and an education for you, then you need to provide a safe place. You cannot welcome and tell these people to come here, and then you've got 100,000 children that have gone missing, and you're putting these children up because you've got this great system going that is such a joke, and it's just so disgusting that we're going to put these kids in these these places, and we're going to watch them, we're going to take care of them, and all these things, and they're being abused, they're being trafficked, and it just doesn't end. Right. So how, and like you said, how does any of this fit together?
It doesn't, and that's not their problem. Their problem is
obviously
because those people live in Martha's Vineyards up in in the Northeast, and they live in Los Angeles, and they got beautiful homes overlooking Malibu, and they have beautiful homes in Seattle, Washington, looking at Puget Sound, and they have beautiful homes that are gated. And they know they're going to be dead before all of this stuff blows up in their face. So they know that their issues that they want to push they do not resonate with the American people. But if the government program can give you something for free, I'll tell you what, come into the country, I'll give you a luxury hotel for free. And you'll remember that, and you'll vote for the Democratic machine. And that's the saddest part of all of this.
Yeah.
Is that your issues are dependent to win on nefarious things. Isn't that sad?
It is.
That you are nefariously breaking code with the United States border to serve your big machine, and money being thrown into the American system to destroy the American dollar so that we can become part of this one world system. You can't become part of the one world system, Vic, if your dollar is stronger than the one world system.
Well, we know, and that's going to be another issue. Digital currency, what's going to happen? Elon Musk came out again overnight and said it's just a matter of time. The dollar and American money is going to be destroyed. Thank you, Elon. It's going to be to start over and redo it. By the way, overnight, Trump came out and said that he will schedule debates with Kamala Harris as soon as the Democratic Party officially makes her the nominee, because he says he's still not sure she's going to be the nominee.
Which I think is fair. I mean, that's just fair. And for her did you guys see her yesterday on the tarmac saying, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to debate him. I mean, but now he seems like, I agreed, and he's backpedaling. He never agreed ever until after she made that statement to debate him. He agreed to debate Biden. And she's like, oh, now he's backpedaling. I mean, who
Trump
listens to this?
If Trump could take a sedative, he would wipe the floor with Kamala Harris.
Oh my God!
If he could just take a nice look, here's a volume, take that, and he would just wipe the floor with her. And that's what needs to. I hope to God that he's down in Mar-a-Lago right now with some consultants to show him how to show a nice, feminine, sensitive side.
Yeah.
That he can go after Kamala and not take the bait, because the Democrats just threw the reel and they put the bait in the water, and they're like, come and get it. Come and get it. Kamala is a bomb.
Yeah.
And if you touch her too hard, she's going to blow up in your face.
Well, and again, he has to be really, really careful about the comments that he does make, because they're already throwing, the sexist, the racist, all of those names at him. And I really think that he needs to strictly talk about policy.
Well, here's one thing.
He can't do it.
Here's one thing you guys need to understand. It's not up to him to defend himself. If he's going to win this thing, he needs every influential Republican female to come out of the woodwork and destroy her. He literally, I hate to say it.
So let them do it.
He needs the fembots.
Yeah.
He needs the fembots to come out and destroy. He needs to step back and let the females. I don't even know who
cat fight. Just to have a little cat
right.
fight.
Not the Laura Ingrams, but the ones who are Gen Z, millennial, a little younger, to just go and run roughshod all over her.
I'd like to see Laura Loomer go after her.
Oh, she will. She's doing a good job. Hey, before we get to our conspiracy theory 9 o'clock hour, are you guys pissed at Netflix? The owner, Reed Hastings, $7 million to a super PAC that supports Kamala Harris. And he said, it's time to win. I mean, okay, you're entitled to do whatever you want to. It's America. And you know what? I like Netflix. But guess what? I won't be watching Netflix. Screw Netflix.
Yeah.
Screw Netflix.
That's just unbelievable.
Eric, is it Bud Light? I hope they become Bud Light. I hope the word gets out that he gave and it wasn't just that he gave money. He backed it up with his comments.
And his programming.
Great freaking point.
Yeah.
Netflix. It rings for me.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a contribution in kind of thing where Trump now has to get as equal amount of time on Netflix. I mean, isn't that how it works?
They're not media.
Really?
Netflix isn't. They're not supposed
Tell
to.
Tell that to a kid that watches Netflix.
Well, that's the same thing. Tell it to a TikTok.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I'm sure that
it's an entertainment outlet.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like you would have a standing case.
I just hope people Bud Light Netflix. I really do, because I mean, Netflix is so big and has become so popular that they're like, you know what? And it's the owner that comes out and starts saying this.
Yeah.
Are you done? Do you do Netflix?
No. Well, I do there's all of the other.
Oh my God. Obama's a part owner
now too.
I didn't know. Obama's a part owner.
Yeah.
Of Netflix.
That's why they do all of their documentaries. They produce those documentaries
they
put them on Netflix.
It sucks because it's a business, but if you're a Democrat and you love UFC, you do have the president of UFC coming out supporting Trump.
Correct.
So it's a little, to be fair.
And guess what? Everybody that follows UFC, for the most part, is all on board. Netflix is a different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
sure.
that. Remember when the whole thing came out and it was like all the transgender people were quitting Netflix because they had a policy of some sort saying, remember, I mean, they went through their own trials and tribulations. That I think it's a great case study of, if you're a corporation, stay in your lane,
right?
Shut up, make the money,
or give it anonymously or something.
Yeah.
You don't have to come out publicly and say, and I'd like to ask them, like, what we can see on Netflix, we can see the agendas that they're pushing. You cannot go on there anymore and watch a movie without.
Well, are you going to do the same with Disney?
Shoved down your throat. Oh, well, don't even talk to me about Disney.
I hate to do it, but I mean, if Six Flags starting doing that garbage, would you go to Six Flags anymore?
No,
with your kids?
I haven't. But I have not bought Nike in probably 10 years.
No,
I don't go to Target. I mean, there's a lot of things, and Disney was never my jam anyway. I mean, I have boys, and they weren't really into going to Disney, but I mean, still, how they went woke and the things that they did was just awful.
Yeah.
We're
in a society now where the Dixie Chicks phenomenon is over because Dixie Chicks screwed themselves so bad by saying what they said on stage in London about George W.
Yeah.
It don't matter anymore. The Koch brothers came out. They started throwing their cash around openly. Bill Gates started throwing his money openly. Are you going to use Microsoft products anymore?
Right.
And it doesn't matter because the deep state is already in full session. We saw it with Trump.
Yeah.
The deep state is there. By the way, real quick, we're going to get into the deep state, the Trump situation, why our guest says the Challenger astronauts are still alive. But first, We say thank you to Complete Auto Body and Repair. Complete Auto Body and Repair. Curtis Sparks was here this week. Our show sponsor, grateful for their support. You're not going to find a better place to go to have your car taken care of. A to Z, 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. They get you in, they get you out. They don't nickel dime you. CompleteAB.com, CompleteAB.com. You can give them a call at 314-731-7999. That's 314-731-7999. They will take care of you. Curtis was here. You're not going to find a better place to go. Also, when it comes to anything from a personal injury standpoint, whether you've been in an accident, hit by somebody in a car, a motorcycle, trucking, any sort of issue where you've been hurt, workers' comp issue, David Gregory. He is the conservative injury lawyer. Spread his name, conservative injury lawyer. You can find him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Or you can give him a call at 314-619-4230. I used him twice. If you mention you're with Cancel This, he's going to knock off the percentage that his company gets, and he's going to give it to you. Make sure that you get more back. If you have a loved one, a friend, a family member, all you have to do is at least call. Once you talk to him, you're going to see he's going to show you what he does. He's going to tell you how much you can actually get, and he's going to give you more back for it. conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. It's the website that hooks you up with people in your community, backed by insurance. It's all safe. If you want to rent something, or if you want to rent your own items out, you can do it right there on their site. Like I said, backed by insurance. They rent spaces as well. Very cool site. You'll be surprised maybe by all the items that are there. If you don't want to buy something, you need something quick, WeQuipUSA takes care of you. Just like Winty's takes care of your food issues, they take care of your spirits issues. And entertainment on the weekends. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Work hard, play hard. They're also in Defiance. You can join them out there. Enjoy all the stuff that they have going on. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley and Winty's Roadhouse. If you're going to use charcoal, don't look any further than Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood Charcoal. It is the charcoal that's made in Missouri, the #1 charcoal in America. It breaks apart your hands. There's no additives. There's no fillers. No extra wood in there. It's real charcoal, which is best for you. And of course, it's the healthiest for you. And one of the coolest sandwich shops around. It is new to the St. Louis area. It is called Capriati's. The owner loved it so much when he had it in Vegas, he had to bring it to St. Louis. I've had it, and it is definitely unique. Some of the best sandwiches I've ever had. But they really are awesome when it comes to catering. The catering that they do is phenomenal. It's second to none. Try them out and let them know that you appreciate them advertising on Cancel This. This is canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust. We've got Megan. We've got Megan Marie Moret. I've got a Megan in my life, so it's very difficult when you do the Megan. And of course, Projo, plus Eric Johnson in-house today as well. It is our Free-for-All Friday segment where we get into our conspiracy theory, speculatory Fridays. 2 segments coming up that we get into. 1, are the Challenger astronauts still alive? And 2, I know it gets wild. And 2, the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Eric, where do you want to start today? You want to start with the, and we'll ask our guest, Grayson, in just a second. But Eric, you're in with us today. Do you want to start with the Challenger astronauts?
Or why? Because they blew up in space.
Or do you want to start with, well, let's bring Grayson. And Grayson, happy Friday, my friend. We bring you in. What's the garden?
Hi, Vic. Hi, Megan. Eric, how are you doing, bud? The garden, they're putting a new addition onto my house, so it's kind of loud out there.
You look very dark today, like you're sitting down in your fancy dungeon.
Yes.
I am. Hang on, let me try a little light.
Or like a lodge.
No, that's all right.
This like a Yellowstone.
This
lodge.
Works great for the Conspiracy Theory Friday segment. That's for sure.
It is.
Where do we start today first? Do we start with the Challenger astronauts, or do we start with who is behind the Trump assassination attempt?
We start with NASA.
All right, we get into NASA. All right, let's start with NASA. Get us started on this, my friend.
It goes all the way back to Operation Paperclip.
It's at 1987, right?
86 was Challenger, right?
Oh, that was Challenger.
No, what's Operation Paperclip?
Operation Paperclip was after World War II. They brought all the surviving scientists over here. Russia got some of them, and America got some of them. And they created, they started doing the same experiments they were doing in Germany over here. You know, I mean, I don't think Mengele made it, but Oh yeah, I know.
Horrible person.
So that was all rocket propulsion stuff then, right?
Yeah, they brought a lot of that over here, and I mean, you heard me last time I was here. I don't believe we live on a ball and that there is no outer space.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you'll take a look at these rockets
take
that
a
they
deep breath
send
on
off,
that one.
what's that, Megan?
I said I got to take a deep breath on that one.
I know.
That is just so far out of my realm of thinking.
Well, anyway, what I was saying was that when the rockets take off, have you ever noticed how they go and they wind up going parallel with the ground?
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Huh?
It does. That makes sense. You don't go
parallel.
Yeah, they do. So what they do is they fall into an orbital track, which instead of going straight up, they need to catch. Here's why you got to catch up with the orbit to get into the orbit. So the orbit.
You're talking about way up.
You got to catch up with the speed of the Earth, which is 17,000 miles an hour, and that's what they're going for. Which is what, Mach 2, or is that, I don't know. Why actually?
Well,
I don't even know.
They go into Mach 1 when they're about 50 seconds up or something.
So then they try to slide out of the atmosphere with the so that you don't have the same effects of the friction coming back into the environment, which is you're trying to slow down at that point, right? That's why you burn up into reentry. So everything that I know about getting into space seems logical up to this point, but now you're about to blow our minds. So go ahead.
Well, when these things take off, they go parallel out over the ocean. Right. And then they start tracking them.
Correct.
All right. Keep that in mind. Now, when they come back, they take this Challenger for shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a jet glide? This thing has smaller. This thing has the aerodynamics of this thing is not even that of an F-15, and this thing glides.
Yeah, it does. I'm a pilot. I mean, I'm not a space shuttle pilot, but I'm going to listen.
But that
intently.
would be really cool if you were.
Yeah, because there is a lot of surface area underneath that thing that will allow you to glide. Now your pitch is going to be down. You're going to have a lot of speed, and you'll have to flare really late in the game. So the space shuttle dynamics.
Yeah.
Are
So where are you going with that, Grayson?
Where I'm going with this is that the shuttle that takes off is not the shuttle that lands. The shuttle that lands, there are videos out there of this thing landing, and you hear the jet engines of this thing as it goes past the camera. You have jet engines on it so that it can't. A jet is basically a bullet, Whenever a jet engine flames out, what happens? They wind up doing the best they can, but they seem to always flat spin, but this thing never does. And it's got such short wingspans. I can see an airplane, if its engines go out, this thing will glide for as long as you really want it to, because its natural instinct is to fly. But a natural instinct of a brick is not to fly, and that's what the space shuttle is.
So where are you going with this from that standpoint? I'm trying to follow.
It is that we've all been duped. We watch what's on TV and we believe it. My friend and I were talking the other day, and we just can't believe that that the two sides are so polarized. And I can't believe that somebody believes it's a good thing not to have self-defense, and the other side believes that self-defense is the most important thing in your life. How could you be so polarized? Well, it's because of the TV, because of media, and we've all swallowed whatever they've told us ever since kindergarten.
It's true. They have the ability to. It's the spin zone. They spin things, and the more they get out of hand, the more they have to spin the stuff. And
so you say there's,
but I don't think NASA.
So you're saying there's no shuttles.
Wait,
I say
are we talking about the Challenger still?
Yes.
Okay.
We're
talking about.
We're getting to it.
Yeah, that there are shuttles.
Okay.
But they've never been to outer space, and there's supposedly what I've heard from people who were behind the scenes in NASA that have come out is that they shoot them out there. These things are just basically, shells, and they just drop off into the ocean,
Okay, so there was I did hear, Grayson, I'd love you to comment on this because there's a movie coming out like Moonshot. It's about how they rigged going to the moon and all that stuff.
Sure.
But here's what they said. They go, if we did have video footage of space shuttle walks, of walks outside of the ISS. We've had those videos since the 80s. Someone told me, they go, if that wasn't true and they were making this stuff up in a studio, your spacewalks would look like something that came out of 1950. It wouldn't look like it does today. But if you compare all of the video from the 80s to present, they're all the same. They all look the same. The video might be a little grainier from the 80s, but in the high definition, so how do you explain that like the video of spacewalks from the 70s even look exactly the same as what they look like right now if we weren't in outer space? It would be, in other words, it would look like we would have to do a studio production to fake being in outer space for a long time.
Sure, and they do it underwater. Haven't you seen the air bubbles come out of their masks and stuff like this?
I've seen that. I have, Eric.
Yes, there are videos.
There are videos.
Well, that could be condensation coming from. You got to dispel the oxygen from somewhere.
But why would it go up?
Yeah,
it wouldn't go up.
Well, because you're still in a gravitational situation to where you're moving. Centrifugal force might bring it up.
Why would they float? But
oh my God,
the
Joe.
condensation not.
Okay, I feel like I just went on an island.
Yeah, and who would take the videos, Eric?
Who would take the videos?
Yeah.
The other spacewalker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree
with
with
that. I like the fact that when they stepped off onto the moon the first time, who had that camera?
That is a good question. I've always wondered that one too.
Wait, they went out one at a time, I thought.
Well, the other thing too is remember all those movies? I mean, all those documentaries of the nuclear explosions and stuff, how they blew away houses and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How come the camera never moved?
Well, I think the good people of Iwo Jima and whoever was flying the Enola Gay that day would say, well, we did blow up a whole city. Yeah. So, I mean, there is for every question, there is logical answers.
I ask questions, and the question is, if the camera ain't moving, what are we really seeing?
That's a good point.
And Iwo Jima, if you want to get onto that, we should still not be able to step foot onto that island.
I always wondered that as well.
Well, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're living a very prosperous lives over there.
Yeah,
it got blown up. That one got it.
Yeah, you're saying that the residual radiation that's
the
left,
half-life,
that they should not be able to live there and live how they are living.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
So do you think then that there would be more cancer, there would be more disease, people wouldn't have the lifespan that they have, or because
an arm growing out of their forehead? Sure.
No, that's only in Cold Creek up in North County.
There is a lot of places that have radiation that
Francis Howell High School
have an arm, a baby arm coming out of their forehead.
But Grayson, where does this lead us into the Challenger astronauts still being alive, though? And how would all of the NASA employees be in on this?
Well, here's how you get a conspiracy to work.
Okay.
First off, you pay them. All right. A lot of people go for the money, and they signed a non-disclosure.
Okay.
And and under that, if they don't want to go, you give them the money anyway, and then you threaten their lives or their family lives. People go along with it every time. It's a tried and true method of mafia, right? And it works. And it works at any level you go. I mean, look at this. They had Kennedy assassination. He was doing good. And then all of a sudden he turned on the secret societies and he's dead. Now you're looking at Trump here. What did he just do? I mean, he just told everybody what he was going to do. He basically could have sat out there and did that last speech that Kennedy did. And that's the same thing that got him killed. He's going against the system. He's going against the world order.
Well, how did Krista McAuliffe go against the system? Like how so here we're going back to the Challenger. So we have a woman that she was one of 11,000 teachers that sent in an application to go into space. And then you have the 5 other people that
Look at
were
all those
with her.
pictures.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, so are you saying that these people are still alive, Grayson? And that what we saw was fake. There was no oil leak, gas leak. And so, and did they even go up in a rocket? Because I mean, a rocket did go up. So was it empty?
Sure, it was empty.
It was empty.
Why would, if you know you can't get into outer space, why would you put people in there? You just send it up. It's all propaganda.
Well, how many missions were there? There was the
10
Odyssey, Challenger. How many?
This was what wasn't this particular mission in '86? Wasn't it the 11th? It was either the 10th or 11th mission.
Okay.
And they were warned.
What are you smiling about over there, man?
Grayson,
come on, dog.
I'm sorry, I'm smiling. Grayson, do you have somebody locked up downstairs?
Yeah. Are you having some construction?
Something's banging together.
It sounds like
I've got construction going on.
It sounds like somebody's locked up.
There's a bunker being made right now as we speak.
Is Krista McAuliffe in your basement?
Yeah.
Is she?
Now, why would
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Krista McAuliffe. Please come here.
Why would I give that information out?
That's true.
I didn't mean for my laughing to interrupt.
No, that's okay. But so I'm just trying to follow along here. So there were several missions, successful missions, and they were that the NASA engineers said that, you're going to have to make sure that you continually check the O-ring. You're going to have to make sure that there's no fuel leaks. You're going to have to do all of these things. But they went ahead anyway. She was very excited. I was excited for her. I was in grade school, so I was following along very intently. And so that was just all false. So they have these people, they sign their life away. They say for whatever amount of money, and they're going to send them to a different place. They're going to live under the witness protection program, I guess.
No identities. People have identities all the time.
They aren't under any witness protection. They're going by their own names. Some of them are professors at colleges.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
they are.
So they show up, and they all show up that day. They walk out. They wave to the press, and they do all of their things. And we watched on camera them get into the rocket. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
And so, but they really didn't. That was all fake. It was a cheap fake. That's what I'm going to call it.
If you're watching TV, you're watching actors. You are watching a show, and people believe what they see on TV. People believe what they read in the newspaper. How do you think Germany got so big? They believed what the newspapers were telling them. They believed the propaganda.
Okay, so do we have rockets? I mean, because that's a lot of money. NASA puts a lot. I mean, in just our whole aerospace, the budget that we have,
I'm
that
glad
we
you
put
bring
into
it up,
this.
because somebody said, why would you fake rocket launches?
Right.
What's the goal?
You don't have to fake rocket launches, but if you'll recall, back in '86, the shuttle program wasn't doing so good. I mean, nobody gave a crap anymore. You know what I mean? Nobody cared about the shuttle program. It was like
it's expensive. It was expensive. It was
when they were doing so many landings on the moon. What did they do? It got mundane. So
what about the Hubble telescope? I mean, there's so much stuff.
Apollo 13. Now Apollo 13 is going to be stranded in outer space. Everybody's back on to watching the NASA again and believing. All right, so everything started going mundane with the space shuttles. All of a sudden, you have one blow up. Everybody's got their attention again.
Okay, well, what? So I get what you're saying, like to grab the attention again. But for what? So we're going to send up
good question
millions, probably, billions of dollars, literally just shoot it up right into the air just to literally burn the money for nothing. But for what? Like, what am I supposed to think now?
The percentage of money that goes into that rocket to go up and just drop it off into the ocean is nothing compared to what they really get.
Yeah.
I mean, billions and billions and billions of dollars are always turned over to NASA every year. And just out of that, say you've got, I don't know, what does it take? A couple $100 million to send one of those suckers off and let it land into the ocean when he goes out of sight of the.
So one of our guys on the chat line, and this is a good question. What was the purpose of blowing up these astronauts on live TV in 1986? What was the purpose? It was like Operation Blow Up the Challenger.
Like I said, they weren't on there, but they needed more ratings. People were losing interest in NASA. So if you lose interest in NASA, then NASA doesn't get all this money anymore. They get defunded because nobody cares.
Okay, well then what does NASA want the money for? Well, if they're not sending people to space and never have, and we've never been to the moon, then what are we doing?
It's a government agency. They always want money.
And
it
gets allocated right up the ladder. If you think about it like the mafia, you'll get an idea of how this world's run. You got the little soldiers down here doing what they can to make more money for the guys upstairs. And that's what happens. It all gets sent upstairs.
But who are they allocating to?
Let's look at this as a race team. A race team gets more money when they win the Daytona 500. They get less money when they lose. When you shoot a ship into space, you lost. Why am I going to fund more losses and not more victories?
If there was no wrecks in the races, would people be as interested? No. Everybody sits there and watches that. They dig the race. That's cool. But they all anticipate a crash. And that's what.
See, but you have hundreds of thousands of multi-leveled employees that have worked for NASA. They would have to hide all of this stuff. And it's kind of like it's like a buffet of conspiracy theories. This is one that I don't think is true at all. I think that we did all this space program. We went to the moon, blah, blah, blah. The ones that are interesting to me are the Area 51 ones, where they're like locked down to say anything. They take hidden planes out of Vegas to the site itself. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's going on out there. Mm-hmm. Those are legitimate conspiracy theories to me. Seeing the Challenger legitimately blow up, a mile or two over our heads. There is some very sophisticated functions going on with O-rings and fuel and all of that.
But when you see proof or not necessarily proof, but pictures of people.
Can you show those pictures again?
Yeah, but I can show you pictures of Elvis dudes. Yeah, but Elvis is dead also.
Yeah, but check
and
out
Michael Jackson's dead as well.
What's your opinion of the pictures that we're showing, Grayson, and have been in, because we've got a couple different videos of the pictures, and what are these they look exactly like the astronauts, but were they critics would say they're fake?
No, they're not fake. They've already done scientific stuff with them, as far as the ears, the nose, and the eyebrows, and the shape of the face and all of it.
Can we go talk to them?
Yeah. So did they sign something that said that they'll never speak on this ever again? I mean,
well, I imagine so, because when they've gone up to them with a microphone, they shut up and they walk on. They will not discuss anything.
And if they weren't the people, they would just sit and say, "It's not me. Stop it. Get out of my face."
That's right.
Well, I do look a lot like Kevin Bacon.
Well, yeah, it depends on if they speak English, though. I mean, if this is down in Argentina or South America, and people are coming up going, "Are you Krista McAuliffe?" And she's like, "No, just because I'm light skinned does not mean that I'm the astronaut that got burned up in '86."
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, Grayson, am I correct in saying that they use facial recognition technology on these photos?
Well, I'm sure they did, but they've done that, and they got computer stuff that I don't know about, but they scientifically go through how these people are the same people. One guy, the guy who looks like he might be Asian, said that, I'm his twin brother, and he never had a brother. Come on,
Okay, so do you believe that there's the two astronauts that are up in space right now that were scheduled to come back like 5 or 6 weeks ago, or is that a hoax too? Or
they're in a giant pool at NASA.
Their skin is very raisiny now.
You've got to see. I mean, don't you? Y'all don't look at critically.
That's a fair question that she asked, though.
I know, but but if you looked critically at NASA rather than acceptingly, you'll see the cracks and the pitfalls of this whole hoax. I mean, look, like I said last time I was here, the Bible explains what the creation of God looks like, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't dispute it, or you dispute the Bible.
Okay.
You dispute the Bible, but you know. So if there's a dome over the world, over the earth.
Oh boy.
I know it drives you crazy, don't it, Eric?
You know what? Here's the thing.
You can't shoot through the firmament.
Because
it's impossible.
Look, I watch Paranormal Caught on Camera every damn night.
Only the Simpsons were able to go through the firmament. They're it.
I love the Truman Show. I get it. But I think, and they did studies about this, back in the 50s, Orson Welles, the War of the Worlds, was the thing that actually started a lot of this stuff. There was a percentage of the people of the world that actually never stopped believing that Orson Welles wasn't telling the truth when he was doing his broadcast. And that's where conspiracy theories kind of started spinning up, is that people were so... UFOs is a great example. And I think, Grayson, you would agree with this, is human psychology wants to believe in this kind of weird supernatural world or supernatural government or the Illuminati or whatever it is. We want to believe in that. I'm the same way, but I have more fun proving this stuff than I do believing in it.
But you believe in a deep state, just like I do.
I think that's fair, though.
Yeah.
That's fair. When you can't disprove it, you have to, right? Isn't that what they say? When you can't disprove it and it's logically probable, you have to, then you're in the laws of probability at that point. The laws of probability
Malcolm Fraser, maybe.
Right. But the laws of probability that we saw the astronauts blow up in space as it was going up live. I was in high school then. I remember I was in my literature class at Francis House. Shut up. I was in my literature class at Francis Howell High School, and we saw it come on and blew up.
Yeah.
Now,
that happened. That happened.
Isn't that amazing that every school televised it? Why? They didn't televise.
I think they did every one.
No,
I think
because
it
was a teacher. It was a teacher, and it was a big thing,
Yeah.
and it was the first teacher to go into
Correct.
space.
Correct.
Did everybody the future generations to believe in what we were taught to? When I was a kid, I watched them walk on the moon. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So this generation of my generation believed in aerospace. Man, there you go.
Yeah.
Now they had to
look, Grayson. Here's another thing that always is fascinating. You have the Wright brothers going up and taking the plane off the ground, and then a few decades later, you have international travel, aviation, and flight, and all that stuff. It works fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
We understand the principles of flight. We understand all of it, and as someone who I would love to say, "Oh my God, you're right. We've disproved it. We never go into space." It's just not true.
Mm-hmm.
As a pilot, you understand the dynamics, and you understand how the air gets thinner, and you understand why you can't breathe the higher up you go. You understand that we had the Hubble telescope up there. You understand it all. And then you so now people like me, I hate to be. I don't like to be this guy on this show. But
let's let Grayson talk then here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The reason the air is thinner with higher you go is because of less density. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. You have to spin up the engines a little bit higher. Yes.
All right. So if it's density, all right, and it's electromagnetic, that's what the Earth is. It's density and electromagnetic. Now, when you get into the water and you jump into the water or drop something into the water, there's an area where it's called buoyancy, correct?
That's right.
Right, and it won't go any deeper, and it won't come to the top. It gets buoyant. All right. All of this plays into the real construction of the Earth, and the real construction of the Earth can be proven just by one of these great big brand new telescopes, or that can zoom in. When you see a ship go over the circumference or the curvature of the Earth, you always that's it. It went over the curvature of the Earth, but you can zoom in and see the water hitting the hull from
that's an illusion. That's an illusion.
Not an illusion.
It's called a ghost ship. It's the ghost ship illusion. It's basically a reflection that lifts the boat up.
If it was a infracted mirage, then it would be upside down. Yes, it is true. Let's get with the science of all this, and then you take a look at the friend of mine that was an instructor in the Navy, and he shot lasers hundreds of miles away to a target. Then they would shoot that missile and it would hit that target where the laser was at. Now, how in the world can you go hundreds of miles with a laser and it not go off the curvature of the Earth and shoot into outer space? These are
that would make sense.
Well, because the ground, the perspective of ground as humans, it's like being an ant. It's like being an ant, Vic. You can have 100 yards feel like 200 miles as a human being because we're taller and we're bigger. If we were 1,000 feet high, then yes, you would have a well more in a perspective of the curvature of the Earth. But we're only 6 feet high.
If we were the ants, and they would look, you're trying to. The only way that would work is if there was a larger circumference of the Earth other than 24,000 miles.
Right. 24,000 miles to a 6-foot human. It doesn't break that fast. You're thinking that we're living on the top of a basketball and we can. No, it's not really like that.
No, I'm exactly the opposite of that.
Yeah. He's flat.
I get it.
Flat.
But we had to get Robert from the chat line thinks you're a genius. And he wants to ask Eric a question because of what you're talking. Is gravity a push or pull effect?
I think for what you're forgetting one thing. There is a centrifugal force that is pulling things down on Earth.
Pushes you off.
Right. It does push you off, but it is in this scenario on Earth, it is a pushing down effect, and I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's like 9 pounds per square.
I know what it is.
What is it? I can't remember what it is. Isn't it like 9 pounds per square inch or something like that? That it's pushing down on you to keep you from floating in space.
What is it?
It's a lie. That's what it is. Gravity has never been proven. It's still a theory.
Well, wait a minute. Even if it's a flat Earth, you have to have something pushing you down on top of that plank of wood. Mm-hmm. You can't. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, so you do have to have gravity is a thing. I mean, it's like I feel like we're in a discussion now about 1 + 1. What does that equal?
Well, wait a minute.
Well, you have one and one.
Simple,
it's
though,
not that
because
simple.
even electricity is still a theory. None of this is proven. Gravity is still a theory. There's no 1 + 1 when it comes to gravity or electricity.
Gravity would only be a theory if it could be proved that nowhere else, no other planet, the moon, or whatever, was lacking gravity. Okay, so that brings me back, Grayson. Can I just rewind you for 1 second because I'm still back on Challenger. Okay,
I love it.
And this is what I need to know from you. Are you? Let's just make it really simple. Are you saying that NASA is just taking money and they're not sending anyone into outer space ever, and everything that we've seen, like the space station, the rockets, everything? So nothing has left our atmosphere here on Earth.
That's right. That's
I
right.
love it.
Because you have a firmament.
Okay.
But like I said, density and electromagnetic, that is what people are figuring as gravity, but it's not. It's density.
All right. Well, so two more. So then do you believe, because you refer to the Bible, and I love that. So do you believe that the book of Revelation is truly word for word, or do you believe that there's some symbolism in there and that there's room for interpretation, or do you believe that it's exactly the way that it's written?
Well, when it comes to what John saw, it was his interpretation.
Right.
I mean, could he explain what a helicopter is if he saw that in the future? No, he could have. He just described it in his terms of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have to say, okay, well, what does he mean here? What's there? Horses and stuff like this, and chariots. That's all he knew about. He didn't know about cars and tanks. He had to go with what he had at the time. But as far as the validity and if you want to take a look at Revelation, it's one of the most awesome books in the Bible.
It is, and it's a hard read, and you also have to remind yourself that we have a human mind, and that we have to be able to interpret it as a human.
Correct. It's parables.
Let me make Revelation easier for you.
Okay.
And you'll when you read next time you read the book of Revelation, you will see it and you'll go, "Oh, I get it."
Okay.
See, chapter 1 through 11 is the same story as 12 through 22. It's just told differently. Now, you got the four gospels seen from, but that all says the same thing, but kind of differently, you know. But the Bible of Revelation, it's the same story told twice.
Grayson, we appreciate you jumping in from that standpoint. We wanted to get to the other segment. By the way, Lisa Kirchhoff loved you so much. She sponsored you today from that standpoint. So we want to make sure we thank Lisa Kirchhoff for that. Something we may be able to agree on, or everybody, chat line, everybody, when it comes to the Trump assassination plot, is that something doesn't add up. There's a reason why all the information is not being given forward. Josh Hawley, U.S. Senator from Missouri, is now having to push forward legislation for transparency. He's having to try to push forward a Transparency Act to get information. When I spoke to you about talking about the Challenger, you're like, yeah, I'm still about that. But my God, I've been wrapped up in everything that's going on with the whole situation regarding Trump. Who did this? What's going on? What have you found out, or what have you been trying to study?
Well, I've gone all the way to you know where BlackRock and Vanguard and all them are at, right?
Yes.
They've got their hands in almost every company out here. And then if you go above that, who's got them? It's Bank of America or something like that, or Warren Buffett's bank is who's got that. All right, that's over those. So the dollars go way up. But what happens is that this kid, I'm sure you all have heard that he was in a BlackRock commercial in 23.
Yeah, we showed it.
Yeah. And then you have the fact that the building he was on, BlackRock was invested into the company that was inside that building.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this is more than a coincidence, you know, and you take a look at this kid, 20 years old, able to walk right in there and shoot a man. And there you go. And for those on the left who believe that this was a false flag or a fake, it wasn't. You don't stand up there and say, "Okay, guys, I'm going to trust you with this. Just shoot me in the ear." Yeah, right. You're not gonna do that. They really tried to kill him, and why did they do it? Same thing that Kennedy did. Same thing that Lincoln did. They started messing with money and making the government the central agency of because. Well, what is it? The Federal Reserve is not part of our government. They're trying to he wants to put money back in the hands of Congress and get rid of the Federal Reserve. So did Lincoln. Lincoln stopped him from getting a centralized banking, and that's what got him killed. So yeah, he's bucking the system, and I have a feeling that they're still not done with him. I have a feeling that when they got to kill him. Is back to
God dang.
Look,
no,
hardcore, but true.
Yeah.
They got to kill him. See, you got this thing that Klaus Schwab called for was the Great Reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. If they kill him and you've got Kamala Harris over here, you got nobody over here. The left, the right is now scrambling to get a candidate on the ballots. And it's almost like the Kamala, she's not even... Is she really human? You know what I mean? It'll be a level playing field of no candidates, and if they have that, then they could possibly win. But as long as he's alive, they've lost, and the reason they've lost is because Trump's gone rogue. He's not in the system. He's starting to buck the New World Order, and they're trying to kill him.
Yeah, I think he's always been rogue. I don't think that he was ever trying to be part of the system from day one. And I think that that's why they hate him and fear him so much. He's got nothing to lose.
I agree with you, Megan, but I think that he played like he was part of it to get where he needed to be. You know,
I agree with that.
Way. So now that he's where he wants to be, or he don't really want to be there, but where he has to be, he's not holding back anything back. You know, he's not punches, and so he's not pulling any punches. These people play dirty. They're liars, killers, thieves, and murderers. You know,
did you see the report about how BlackRock shorted the stock right before
Yes.
Trump. Did you explain the details for our viewers and listeners about what happened? Because it was a large amount of money.
Yeah, I'm not a big stock market guy, but when you short, I think it's called shorting. Yeah, it's like, well, I played was it when you throw bones on the table? What is it? Dice. All right, like you go to the casino and you roll some dice. You know, you can go on the pass line or you can go on the come line, and the come line is betting against the guy rolling the dice.
Craps.
That's right.
That's it. He's going to lose, and you're going to win. That's what shorting is. So they bet against the outcome, and they figured he was dead. So they're on the come line. But he didn't die. They lost a bunch of freaking money, is what they did, and it doesn't really matter to them. I mean, because they got so much. It's just like when they asked Henry Ford, how much money is enough, and he said $1 more. If you've got that kind of mentality, you just ain't going to quit until you got it all.
So they hired crooks to do this for them. Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know if they hired him or
Well, I
not.
was going to say, because how he couldn't, obviously they knew that he was going to die. So what was in it for him?
He didn't obviously know he was going to die.
Well, how could he not? I mean, how could he have not known that they were going to take him out?
They probably made him feel like he was going to be a hero.
Wait a minute. So are there any communications? I thought the same thing. I was like, they knew that they were going to kill him. They told him that there was a way out. Shoot him, back off the roof, and then we'll disappear you, whatever it is. And he was stupid enough to take the bait. But they always knew that as soon as he took the kill shot, there was going to be some Secret Service guy that took his ass out. And then all of a sudden, oh, there's nothing to see here. We took out it's kind of like the JFK thing, right? It's like you had the one goofy dude that probably didn't take the kill shot up in the book depository. And there were other guys that actually took him out. That's the conspiracy theory on that one. And they were thinking,
but it was really, it was her. It was Jackie. Jackie Kennedy shot him.
We talked about that last time too.
I know, but you can see that. So what I'm saying is that there has to be something behind all of this that is so powerful and so fluid that you can't fight against it. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna take him out, but I have a feeling it's gonna be done on such a grandiose scale that people around him are going to be obliterated too. There's gonna be casualties on the next one, other than the firefighter.
Well, so here's my question. If this was planned and it was, the government was a part of this, well, then why was this kid having to do all the grunt work? Why was he the one having to come and look around? Why was he having to send, set drones up to look? Like, why didn't they just say, hey, there's not going to be any Secret Service on any but maybe 2 buildings. So this is your spot, X right here. You're going to climb up. This is what you're going to do. Why was it kind of just so wishy-washy? I mean, he did it like a 20-year-old kid. I mean, he sent up a drone, he bought a ladder, but figured out he didn't need it. He was riding a bike. Like, it just doesn't seem like it was executed by a professional.
Well, they figured that once he was dead, they really wouldn't give a crap, and they figured, well, who cares? Who cares if they got caught? Who cares? See, all we're going to do is protest. And if they don't care what you got to say, a protest is null and void. It's moot, and that's all people do is protest, protest, protest. Nothing gets done because nobody cares what you think. They don't have to care what you care about. Well, Trump seems to, I don't know what's on his mind, but I'm starting to see that I've done some history on him and looked back at when he was young man and the interviews that he did. Man, he's been saying the same thing for 30 years. So he must, he hasn't changed his tune. So I'm starting to believe that he might be that guy. But
it's also logical to think that if this is true, that the Secret Service might have left an opening up.
Of course they did.
You know what I mean?
They did.
It's a little bit more logical. It's like, we're not going to cover all the holes. And if they take a shot,
Eric, what they did here, I mean, think about this. Who was in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh that same day? Jill Biden. They took off all Trump's regular Secret Service people and put them onto her, and then gave what if you were in baseball, that would be the second string, right?
Yeah,
Well,
the
I
JV
think
squad.
a third or fourth string out there on him. I mean, these bumbling idiots. I'm really, really disappointed in those people. I don't think that they were prepared for anything, and that's why they put them out there. But but to have somebody, who was this lady? What was Cheadle?
Yeah.
Kim Cheadle.
Yeah, I'm that kid ought to be glad he just didn't slide off of that building. He finally got the shot with the steepness of that roof. He's really glad he didn't slide off of there. But he'd be alive today if he would have slid.
Yeah, but still think about this. The only reason Donald Trump is still with us is because he turned his head.
That's it.
Despite everything that we've talked about, it still would have went through.
Yeah, and then you take a look at the Bible, and what did Moses do for Aaron and his kids? He put blood on their right ear, on their right thumb, and on their right toe. All right, and this was a cleansing for the priests. Right now, I don't believe that that's where the cleansing is. I believe the cleansing is through Jesus Christ. But this is a symbolization, because I sit there and go, okay, well, his right ear, his right thumb, but what about his shoe was off? Did he get any blood on his right big toe? So now, if he did, and all of this was supposed to be a symbolism of something that Moses did for Aaron, then what are we talking here? All right, we're talking either this is supposed to get every Christian to believe that God has blessed him, and they're overlooking the fact that Jesus Christ is the only way to God, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of questions about exactly what the reason behind this was. Because, I mean, did God intervene?
Absolutely.
I believe so.
100%.
I believe so.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. But now what now? So now what? So do they just continue to try to take him out or what?
Oh,
I mean,
no, this was
the one and done?
One
and done. And well, actually they're not done, but
see, he's insignificant to people like this. He is insignificant. His life is nothing. So what they're going to do is they're going to take him out, because the greater plan is to have nobody running for president that's worthy of being our president.
Okay. So
and Trump is worthy of being our president. Look what he did in the last 4 years. There were no wars. Everybody was together on the economics of the world, right? Now, this is what had me worried last time, was that everybody is on a level playing field with our trade and everything else. Well, what is the new world order going to look like? It's supposed to be great trade. Everybody trading with each other, and it's going to be all simpatico. Well, who else to bring that in as rather than Trump? And now that he's got the tip of his ear to, even Elon Musk is backing him, and he wasn't going to back anybody. Look at all the people that have jumped on and starting to back him now, and he could be that guy that brings the new world order in, because the guy who brings it in is going to be revered by everyone.
Well,
I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. Don't give me that.
No, it's to me, it's frustrating, because you have one salesperson selling the Taj Mahal. That's Trump selling this great vision. And then you have another person who is the entire arm of the Democratic convention or party with Barack Obama and all these exceptionally charismatic people selling a stay at Motel 6 in the middle of Omaha. Well, which one would you rather stay at? And they'll choose the charismatic person with the worst hotel. Then they'll choose Trump with the Taj Mahal behind him. And that makes me wonder about the psyche of this country, the people who cannot do the deductive reasoning about who they're voting for.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's the psyche of this country. I was watching something this morning, and it was a bunch of black people on the panel, and one lady said that she's voting for Kamala Harris, and one guy asked her why. He said, well, because she's a black woman.
Yeah, there you go.
And how horrible her politics are and everything else that she's done, and but if you think about that lady, there's so many people out there with this mentality, you know.
Well, and they're uneducated. They have no clue what's going on. They have no clue what policies are on either side. They literally they don't care. And they're sitting there and they're scratching their head going, why are eggs, $18? Why is bread $10? I mean, they're not going to take the time.
It seems like they're willing to slice their throat on that stuff.
They
to
will.
have a female African American woman who it sucks.
Yeah,
It
it
blows
does.
my mind whenever she speaks. I really sincerely try to understand what point she's trying to make.
She doesn't have one. No.
I know.
No, because Democrats speak in platitudes. They don't speak to policy.
They do. No, very good.
It's the problem is you want someone. Someone once said, it might have been Carville, just said, this is supposed to be boring.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to fix potholes. You're supposed to make sure that the aircraft carriers don't sink. You're supposed to make sure that you're supposed to be governing. You don't need a PR company behind you.
Yeah.
And that's the one that's the most frustrating things is they speak in things that are like, it sounds great, but you said nothing.
Right. Again,
Republicans on the other hand say things that they're just policy. Lower taxes mean this, lower spending means this, better education means this. They're the things that they say out of their mouths are so simple. They're so you can understand them very easily.
Like you're either a boy or a girl.
You're either yes, good point. That might be the point of the day right there. Binary means one or the other.
Yeah.
Non-binary means there's a billion different outcomes to your laws of probability.
Exactly.
Now, what I was talking about earlier, this great divide that we've got going on here. How can someone seriously believe that there are 170 genders? How can they seriously believe that? Who taught them something that made them believe this all the way down to their soul? And if they can believe that, they can believe anything.
Well,
that's what it is.
Excuse is that they are evolved and we're not. We're simple minds. We're peons, and our minds cannot evolve like that.
Imagine the day that your parents told you there's no Santa Claus. They're troubled because they are trying to say there's no Santa Claus, but the Democrats are like saying, no, there is a Santa Claus. Just come with me.
Yeah.
We'll give you candy canes and candy.
A lot of questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
Grayson.
Always answers.
You said a few minutes ago, you made the comment, you said for the person that's going to be able to bring forward and present one world order is going to be revered. By who? Who do you mean? Who's going to revere?
The masses are going to be revered. They're going to love him. The masses are going to fall for him. He can't get up there or put someone. He can't be. If all right, when I say the New World Order, I'm really talking about Satan's kingdom coming in. All right, you've got the Antichrist, you've got the beast, you've got the false prophet. All right, these things are going to be here. They're not going to look like
they are here.
Yes, they are here. But who is it now? You know?
I don't know. What leader do you see Xi and Putin and all these guys looking around going, what the hell's going on around here? Because they're not going to be part of no one world order unless they're ruling it.
Well, you gotta realize now,
so it's just Europe and the United States.
All the leaders of all these countries, most of them, I would say, have gone through the Young Leaders program under Klaus Schwab. And it was a 5-year program, and they all wound up leaders of other countries. And Biden's staff members have gone through that. So they were the ones who were directing him. So if everybody's gone through the Young Leaders program under Klaus Schwab and the the World Economic Forum. All right. So and Putin's gone through it. You know, all of these people have gone through this. They're all part of the same thing. It's like going to court with a lawyer. You know, I mean that's the dumbest thing you could do because it's stacked against you. He's a part of the bar association. The prosecutor is part of the bar association. The judge is part of a bar association.
Yeah.
You're not, you know,
Yeah.
if they come to a deal and you're the prize,
Mhm.
You know,
Hey, are you familiar with the 100-year march? China's 100-year march?
no, I'm
By
not.
chance? Okay.
Like,
Take a look at that, because I parallel that with this whole new world order and what the plan for China. I mean, they have a plan for us, and we are marching right in the direction that they have planned for us. And
yeah.
so, yeah, take a look at that when you can.
Well,
And
what
I
is
wanna hear.
the? I mean, does anybody know that if it's true or not that China's going bankrupt?
I've heard it.
RP, what do you think? Are you still there listening?
Yeah, I've heard it that they are.
Oh yeah.
That China's in a terrible spot.
They can't sustain what they've built, and they also have 2 billion, 3 billion people who are sucking off the teat of the government as well. And it's like, so you're going to have the ebbs and flows of that economic boom and bust, and they are going bankrupt to a certain extent. They need to figure out how to make their economy sustainable.
Mhm.
They have the ability to do that, but right now it looks bad. But it looks bad for all of us. It looks bad for all of us.
They have no qualms about population control either. Back in the 90s, it was forced abortions. Now they've got, viruses, mysterious viruses that come in and not only take out their population, but ours. So
they've got criminal laws that, you break the law, they take you right out back, and they have ambulances waiting there because they kill you, and then they start dissecting your organs right there. 40,000 people, 40,000 people a year are executed and their organs harvested.
Okay.
Now, if you break that down to how many is that a day?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about the humanity of it.
We talk about conspiracy theories, and I know we're wrapping up the show, but we talk about conspiracy theories, and I think I really believe this. This is why you got to be careful about which conspiracy theories you let into the discussion, and you just need to start getting rid of the garbage that's out there, because some of the stuff is not conspiracy theory, and this is the stuff that people have to focus on. Mm-hmm. But if there's too much of this conspiracy theory talk, nothing comes through. And I think that's, if there is this one world government or this deep state thing,
and there is,
they are relying on the fact that you take an interest in one of these conspiracies. They want you to, because
it's brainwashing.
It deflects from the Illuminati New World Order guys, and they're like, we have a complete fence around us because they believe everything we tell them. They believe in the UFOs. They believe in Sasquatch. They believe in Nancy Pelosi's talking to the Illuminati. They believe in the Masons. They don't know what to make of any of this stuff. So they're in this shroud of garbage, and there is a truth out there. But I'm not saying that
they're telling us the truth, Eric. They've got to tell us the truth.
I'm just saying that you need to be that the game needs to start becoming this.
Who's telling us the truth?
The people the people, the people out there need to be saying, here's proof that you are about ready to be swamped by a new world system. And you need people who are You know what? Al Gore is a good example of that. I think he's a moron too. I think he's a hypocrite. But there was a PowerPoint presentation that said an inconvenient truth that started this whole the world is going to blow up in 12 years. And he did a really good job laying the case out there of something that might or might not be true. We need people like that to say, here's the new world government. This is what you need to be careful about. And this is what you're voting for. And get rid of all the other conspiracies for a while. And
George
just
Bush
go after
Sr. spoke of the New World Order. Obama spoke of the New World Order. They all spoke of the New World Order.
Well, it sounds like they got absorbed.
No, they did.
Here's the thing. See, they've got to let you know. See, the more you know, the less of a threat they are. Because we go, oh, well, they're this, that, and the other. Then you realize how powerful you are and how weak you are. Then they're safe.
And you're trying to
normalize,
and you're conflating things in the human. You're conflating something that Hollywood would have produced via what maybe the truth is, and you're trying to figure out all of that stuff.
Hollywood is telling you what they're doing.
Really?
They've been doing it for a long time, Eric. We had a show on that.
Yeah, but to what level?
Oh,
well, they slowly they brainwash you and they try to normalize things. I mean, can you look back 10 years ago and all of the things that they have normalized? They've normalized all this crazy crap in schools, and then they try to make then they gaslight you, and they try to make the parents feel bad for actually not wanting their kids, in 3rd grade to talk about sex and sexuality and what bathroom they want to go in. I mean, if that's not the craziest example of how they do this.
I think it has to do with karma. I think they have to tell you what they're doing, otherwise they suffer consequences.
They do. They have to tell you. God told you in the Bible exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
God told you in the Bible exactly what's going to happen. You think he's going to let Satan not tell us? No, they're ruled. They're ruled by rules. That's and God still rules, and even Satan and the demons bow to him still. They're afraid of him. But the thing of it is that they're telling us through movies, through songs, through everything. And if you just take a listen and then take a look around, it's right there in front of your face. You take a look at the United Nations flag and the USGS mapping service flag. Do you know what you're looking at? You're looking at a flat earth map. Now, why would they have a flat earth map for the United Nations and the USGS mapping service? Why would they do that? Because it's right there in front of your face and nobody sees it.
Hey, Grayson, we appreciate you jumping in with us again today.
Vic, it's always a pleasure. And I want to thank Lisa. Lisa Baker, thank you so much for sponsoring me.
Yep, she did. She wanted to hit you on today, so we got her on, and we're grateful for it. And we'll catch back up with you, Grayson.
All right.
It was great talking to you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for all your insight.
Eric, see you around, Bubba.
You had a chance last week, and we were at Aquapalooza in the Lake of the Ozarks.
I was over his shorty pants.
That sucks.
Oh.
Yeah. Hopefully we were loud enough you could hear us.
Shorty pants.
We'll see you later, Grayson.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Take care.
All righty. Well, hey, it's a Friday. I'm
Here
tired.
we go.
That's right. I just listened to you guys. I can just sit back and let you guys.
Remember Art Bell in the old
Yes.
days? You don't remember Art Bell?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't know Ski Soda. I don't know Art Bell.
Okay. Art Bell was a guy from 12 o'clock till I think 3 a.m. Maybe it was overnight. And he was the guy that talked about these conspiracy theories, but he talked about them like they weren't conspiracy theory. This is fact. Like he talked about them like ghost, UFOs, Bigfoot, government, New World Order, whatever. And he basically, I kind of blame him in a little bit of a way, because he never provided evidence of any of this stuff. It was just a talk show. And that's what people need to start doing, is they need to start presenting evidence. And then if someone could produce a real live Elvis Presley, he's probably in a wheelchair right now, and he's singing gospel at some church, a Baptist church down in Alabama.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't understand. You don't.
If you could do that, though, people would go, well, what other conspiracy theory do we have? And then all of a sudden, here comes Michael Jackson out of a door. You're like, what the?
But you're right. But guess what? I believe in some of the science that he was talking about when it comes to the rockets and gravity.
It doesn't make sense.
I think it does.
It doesn't make sense.
And that's why I think there's enough that you still get.
Eric.
Like, one of the most intelligent people I've ever spoken with regarding some of these areas is Robert from the chat line. And
I understand that.
And Robert is 100% on his side. He said because of the evidence.
So you mean to tell me, I'm gonna say something real quick.
I don't think it's all just like some Bigfoot story.
A pressurized O-ring. Here's what you got to put in your brain. A pressurized O-ring that has worked flawlessly up to that point, that somehow leaked, caught fire, started a chain reaction, and blew the garbage out of that entire system. That's not more logical than, okay, where Operation Blow the Crap Out of these teachers starts live in 1 hour, and then you bring them down a hall, divert them this way, launch the thing up, blow the thing up. There really was no narrative after that. It was just like, it was just sadness in the United States.
My brain hurts.
There wasn't, NASA was not asking for more money because of it. It was just it was a mourning that happened for like 2 months.
There was a 7-minute video. There was a 7-minute video that we didn't play that would explain a lot, and it would show you how these people are still alive in other countries and other places, living. And
can I show you the videos of Elvis I have? Can I show you the Elvis videos?
When people try to interview them, they act weird.
Same thing with Neil Armstrong. Running, would not give money to his best charity. Somebody said, say that you weren't there.
He wouldn't swear on the Bible that they actually landed on the moon. He would
Or we'll
not
give you
swear on the Bible.
$100,000 for your charity. And he's like, nope. And Eric, there's a lot of things that just make you wonder.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, that's what the Friday shows are
But
about.
why can't there just be deaths? Why couldn't why can't Elvis just be dead, and Tupac and Biggie and Michael Jackson and why can't they just be
Elvis
dead?
lived a hard ass life.
Well, they all are dead except Michael Jackson. Michael's still alive, but the rest of them are dead.
Okay.
But did they die of said sources from the 50s and all that stuff? I mean, the thing, I'm sorry, 78. He died in 1978 on the toilet. If you're going to go out as Elvis, aren't you going to go out in some fiery car crash instead of being on the toilet?
Cool. Something really cool.
With a bunch of opiates?
I mean, the guy could barely even, towards the end of his life, he could barely even sing a song anymore. He was so drugged up. He was so heavy. He was drinking, drugging.
I'm telling you right now, if everything that you hear is probably false, unless Area 51 opens up a door and a UFO comes up from 1954 and they go, this has been real since 1954. Roswell happened. Then it's game on. Everything else.
Neil Armstrong, Neil A. Neil A. spelled backwards is alien. You've seen that 100,000 times. Okay. That does it for our Friday show.
But hey, we got to get Grayson though on. We need to do a UFO alien. Like just straight up, dig deep.
Just watch Paranormal Caught on Camera. You'll love it.
Pro Joe, you were great. Eric, great. Megan, thank you. Vic Faust, love you guys.
Have a great weekend.
My brain hurts. Wait, Platinum Rock Legends this weekend?
Cedar Rapids.
Oh,
come on!
Wow,
look at you, traveler.
And you like Cedar Rapids? You told me.
I like it.
It's a good
there.
location.
Yeah, Quaker Oats is up there. You can have all kinds of cereal.
Oh.
I don't even know what that means.
See ya.